Ooh, y'all, at this rate, I don't know if we gonna make it through all the games. Episode 5, and we only 3 games in. That math ain't mathing too well. But what I can say about this episode that is mathing is there's a lot of players left over that I thought wouldn't be here by now. Because last season, after the first game, 200 plus players got eliminated. And there's still 200 plus players left after the third game. But also, these little mini games that they had them playing, I definitely think, now that I know all the rules, it's time for a brother to get another shot. Netflix. Let's do it. What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to the DeAndre Way, where we are going through Squid Game Season 2, Episode 5. Sad there's only 7 episodes. This is gonna be over right when I feel like we just started. But I can say, y'all, this episode, I keep saying that every episode is my favorite one yet. This series is good. I've seen online that some people are like, oh, this series isn't that good. Squid Game, high overhyped, overhyped. Those people don't know what they're talking about. Those people don't know what good cinema is. They probably think The Notebook is top tier cinema, and they need their eyes checked. This is a masterpiece in the making, and I'm definitely ready for season 3, which we won't get for a long time. But I'm hooked, y'all. After I get done with the series, I'm gonna be on my Squid Game lore. I'm gonna be looking at all the philosophies and deep dives and all the extra things that are going on in Squid Game that I might have missed watching. But I'm definitely loving it, y'all. I wish I could watch the episodes back to back to back to back, but I want to do these reviews with y'all, so I'm enjoying the time with it. But it's. I just want more episodes. That's all I want. Oh well, I guess Bees Games is next to watch. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, we are coming from season episode 5, where we resume there with the team of the mother, son, and the trans woman. Just finished the Dachi game, and they no, they finished the game. They're finished. They're on their way to start. Sorry, they're about to start, and they're the second ones up, and they complete the Dachi pretty quickly. And apparently, you need to have the folded side thrown down to flip it easier, if I'm not mistaken. They complete that pretty quickly. Good strategy. And then it's on to the stone game, but the stone is the stone is the stone is why am I tripping? The stone game is easier if you walk backwards after you miss the stone. A lot of teams were like trying to turn around and walk and whatnot, um, but apparently you just walk backwards, which duh, I feel like. But it's high tense, high emotional situation, so I understand the losing themselves in the music part. Um, but yes, good strategy, walking backwards. And then they said, imagine the stone was the face of the guy who scammed them, and he hit it pretty quickly and pretty easily. That reminds me of Waterboy. If you ever seen Waterboy, Bobby Boucher imagined that his opponents were people that said mean things to him in the past. They imagined it was like his mom or his former coaches or people that just picked on him, and he was able to jack him up pretty well. So I think they got the inspiration from that. Um, so now it's on to the Gong Chi, and I get how to play it now. So how you play Gong Chi is like jacks. You throw the throw the thing up, pick up one, catch. Throw the thing up, pick up one, catch. When you get all 5 done, drop them down. Throw it up, pick up 2, catch. Throw it up, pick up 2, catch. Throw it up, pick up the last one, catch. Then you do 3. Throw it up, pick up 3, catch. Pick up the last one, catch. Then you throw it, flip them. I think that's when you flip it on your hands like this, and then you flip it back and then catch it. and I think I could do that. I would pick that game to do now that I see the rules because I got good hand-eye coordination. So that would be my first game to pick. I think that's the easiest one out of all of them if you're not uncoordinated. So the mom gets it done. You know, she's stressing out. And then it's time for the top game. So you have to wrap this top around the axle and then unleash it like it's a Beyblade. I've played Beyblades, so I would be good at this too. Y'all put me in the games, coach. Netflix, you playing. You playing. You don't want a brother to win that money. Season 2. Ugh. But it's just like Beyblades. Um, you rip it out and rip it, spin it, twist it, the whole thing. Um, and so it's funny, like she's like praying. It's this is the shaman lady who's like giving out quotes and stuff, and she's like, to the heaven and earth, the gods, please, the heaven and earth. The heaven and earth gods ain't with her right now. It's just her and the guards that's with her, and she's panicking. And the this episode was hilarious, y'all. 120 starts slapping the shit out of her. I was like, oh snap! Started getting a nosebleed and everything, blood all over the place, y'all. It was hilarious. Yeah, 120 is like, you need to get it together, okay? Or else I'm gonna kill you before the guards do. And everyone's freaking out, but then eventually gets it together and completes the game. And now it's on to the last one where, or no, it's on to the second to last one, the Jeji game. Um, well, that is the last one. Jeji's the last one, and 120's turn, and she tells everyone to turn around, and she gets it done. You know, the reason she said turn around, which we is mentioned later, um, is because she's still shy about the transition phase, and when she's kicking the ball, there might be some other things that might be shown that she doesn't want to see shown, which understandable. But gets it done, and everyone listens and everyone turns around and gives her the time and space. It's basically hacky sack. Kick this sack 5 times. It's simple as well, um, except they're under pressure. And 5 minutes isn't a lot of time. So praise of the team. Each game takes roughly take roughly a minute. And I think if you miss one of them, you're screwed with the time. You got to get the rest of them on the first time. And the slow motion was killing me at the end of this. The face of the sun, like this whole team was panicking like heavily the whole time. And so it was just killing me. The comedic timing on all of it was perfect. The slow motion shots are the best ones in the whole entire series. Like you could do this whole series in slow motion, and I would love it. So I wish Squid Game the challenge had more slow motion slots. Um, but yes, both sides make it on this game, and then we get a compilation of all the teams going through the games, and a lot of them are making it. I'd say the Rock is the hardest game, just because if you miss it a couple times, you're gonna run out of time. That's the one game where it's gonna take a long time to get the Rock back because you have to stand behind this line rather than I'd say the top, just try not to spin it too far away, and the other ones are right there. So you can just start over from scratch. But yeah, there's blood all over the place. Some teams making it, some teams not. One team finished all the games, but they didn't make it across the line in time. And so they got shot. And yeah, it's lighting up right now. But it's time for the main team to go. Our hero 456, player one, 390, 388, and the girl. So the girl does the dachi the first time, easy peasy. 390 gets the rock on the first try, easy breezy. 388 kills the Gong Chi game. I mean, he murks this. I think he might have the world record, coach. Uh, that was a sight to behold. So the first three, boom, 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 boom. Like they're on a track to finish this with like 2 minutes left. And it's time for the top game with Mr. One, the front man. He messes it up a couple times. He spent it really far too. I'm like, is this dude blowing this game on purpose? Because he knows the guards won't shoot him and no one else is there to see him not get shot. But there's no way they could do that. It's 456, right? I think he thought about doing that and he's like, let me just do this, man. These people aren't as bad as I thought they were. Maybe he's turning over a new leaf. Maybe his heart is changing before our eyes. Um, And it's funny they have this song playing throughout it, and when he misses the top because they think he's gonna get it in the first try, it just like slowly like hilarious. I think this episode was brilliant, y'all. Squid Game isn't meant to be such a serious atmosphere. It's serious stakes, but these are kid games at the end of the day. And think that's one thing that was lacking with Squid Game. The challenge is there wasn't enough of moments like this that they had when it really wasn't all that serious as it seemed. You know, we wanted to win the money in the games, but at the same time, these are children games we're playing. And so it wasn't serious in that aspect. And I love that they're bringing that element onto Squid Game season two. Um, so number frontman starts slapping himself silly. He didn't get a nosebleed, but he eventually gets it. And so it's time for the last game, the hacky sack, essentially. And so when 456 goes up, the guard puts his hand in front, and immediately 456 pushes it out the way. He's like, "Bro, get out my face, coach." And he gets it pretty on the first or second try. I believe it's the first try. But number one helps him get the last one because he almost missed it, but he stretched his leg out to get it. And they make it with the last waning seconds. You know, I think they just did that for dramatic effect because they did go pretty quick overall. I didn't realize number player one took that long, but they made it. But the other team got shot that was last with them, so they celebrated for a second, then like, oh snap. So overall, very entertaining game. I love the second game. The teamwork aspect. I wish it was one. Each player had to do all five in 5 minutes rather than the team. I hope they don't do this team on Squid Game the challenge, but they might do it like that because it sucks to have the game taken away from someone by someone else. You know, that's the worst feeling ever, where you kind of have the game out of your control and your fate lies in someone else's hands, rather than losing in red light, green light, or losing in Dalgona, or losing in marbles. You know, at least you had a chance. This, some people didn't even have a fighting chance, so they had to take that L to the grave, sadly. So they get back to the dorms, and it seems like 124 is trying to boss around 125, and 124 is one of the goons that's mad at the crypto guy, um, and 125 is like this shy dude who is the play the girl that 230 was hitting on, her friend, her nerd friend. That's him, 125. And surprisingly, 230 is trying to keep the team camaraderie up. He's like, "Hey guys, like, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, like we're all the same age. You need to, or you're older. You need to treat them with respect. You're equals. Why are you listening and having to boss you around?" So I was shocked. I was like, "Oh, this dude is actually making some sense. He's actually keeping everything together instead of causing chaos for once. This is. I mean, them drugs must be really working on this brother." Because I was like, "Wow, this man is like 50 shades. How was I say 50 shades of gray? He got 50 different sides to him, Jekyll and Hyde settings." Um, so yeah, it was very interesting that he did that. And then 120 is asked, um, you know, why 120 is asked by the mom on why they wanted everyone to turn around. And 120 explains because of the transition process and whatnot. And the mother's not fully understanding, but she kind of gets it at the end, which is it's funny to it's very interesting to see the dichotomy and the reasoning behind 120's reasoning, and how you get to really, I think they're doing a good job of giving 120's point of view on everything, how they're being ostracized, how they're being mistreated, how they might feel about certain things. And it's definitely something that we all can learn from. You know, we like I said, we all might not agree on the things people do, the way people decide to live their lives. But at the end of the day, the least we can do is show everyone respect. And I think everyone deserves that until they deem not worthy of that. And so, 456 team comes in last. Everyone's not happy to see them. They're like, okay, we need more teams eliminated. This is too many people. Like, I wonder how much money he has. I mean, 124 even tells 125 earlier to go look and count. I'm like, and then the girl's like, why would he go count? They're going to announce how much. And so I think 125 is on a power trip. 124 is on a power trip. Hope he gets eliminated soon. 'Cause I'm tired of this dude. And soon we find out that the guards sneak into the girl guards room. We pan to them and start trying to, like, seemingly uh, do some crazy things to her. I think they're trying to do some devious acts, if you catch my drift. But then they start roughing her up a little bit, and they turn the cameras off. This too. One of the guards in the guard room turn the cameras off to this. They talk about playing fair. They rip their mask off. They rip her mask off, and they're like, "Look, you keep acting up and killing people that we don't want killed like that. We're gonna do another thing to you." And I'm not with this, man. These two dudes are some punks. I mean, she fights back and gets them a couple licks, but it's one against two. There's not much she can do. Um, and it's a weird scene. I think they're fighting her because of what are they not gaining out of what she's doing? So I'm wondering on their point of view, like, why are they so pissed off and upset? Unless they're just following orders from somebody up front or up top. But these two dudes are clowns. So I'm glad she got a couple pieces of them before they jetted up out of there. And soon, the front man, player one, tells the girl to see a doctor, the pregnant girl, to see a doctor when they're out. Everyone at this point and their mother knows that this girl's pregnant. And the results of the second game soon come out. And it's 110 players eliminated. That means there's 255 players remaining and 20.1 billion won. That is 78 million, 78,823,530 won per person, which I am going to do the math on that. Let's see. The translation is, so we had, what was it? 78,823,530. Dang, that's only $53,554 US dollars, y'all. Wow. Yeah, that's not gonna cover a lot of student loan debt. So I see why they're so upset, and I'm glad I'm able to use this accurate translation to see exactly, you know, how much money that they're able to get, they would receive. And so that'd be tough to leave the game on that too. For me, no, I would leave the game, but I'm not in debt like all those people are. So I guess I think one more game and then they're able to get up out of there. 100,000, that should be able to start anew for most people. If you're more than $100,000 in debt, good lord, ugh, you got more problems than winning all this money, coach. Um, but yes, people are complaining about not enough people have died. They're like, recounts, this isn't fair, yada, yada, yada. And soon it is time to vote again. Now, the mom tells her son, look, you better vote with me. Don't forget. And the mom is also connecting with her team out to be friends outside the game. She's like, look, we can all eat at my house after this is all said and done. I'm gonna cook some good food. We gonna have some good times. We gonna watch some cool shows. It's sad to hear that them talking about life outside of the game, just because most likely they're all going to die, which is very sad because we're connecting with these players. I don't think we've lost one significant player that we've connected with. Maybe other than the girl old boy was flirting with 2:30 at the first red light green light, but I think for Squid Game 1 we lost a person that we connected to each game. This time we haven't lost pretty much anyone that we've shown that's shown heavily enough. I mean, there's still 255 players left, so it's just sad for them to talk about that and me thinking like, man, they won't get to see each other outside the game. Um, But it's time to vote, and the voting begins at player one this time. He votes to leave the game, but the son picks to stay in the game despite his mother's wishes. Well, she was hot, boy. She was hot. The shaman lady is up there, and she's being rushed to pick. She's like doing this, and people are like, "Hurry up!" I feel like she was stuck in New York traffic, not moving the car. But she eventually picks to stay. 120 picked to stay, 125 picked to stay. Um, I was shocked by 120 picking to stay as well, because that's the trans girl. Player one starts to give a speech about voting to leave the game right as 4, 5, 6. But the thing is, they didn't stop him from giving his speech. I thought they said, hey, if anyone talks and interrupts the voting, you will be eliminated or you're going to kill you. They insinuated that, but they didn't do anything to this guy right here. Interesting. I'm finding a few loopholes now. I think they forgot about that. Who knows? Maybe it's only speak up one time per voting process. I don't know, but I thought they were gonna do something, but I guess not. It's only when 4, 5, 6 speeds up. But yes, there's a lot of fuss on the players on who wants to stay and who wants to go, and then they start getting this big chant that everyone says, "One more game, one more game, one more game, a one more game, a one more game, a one more, what more game?" And they all vote. Most of them vote one more game, and total ends up being 139 to 116 to stay in the game. So they are in for a round three. And the mom is pissed off with the son, as any mother should be. She's like, "Look, what is going on? Why would you not vote with your own mother? What are you doing? What is the problem?" And he's like, "Look, mom, I got more debt than you think. I got gambling issues. I'm an addict. Help me. I need therapy. I need money for the therapy sessions I'm gonna have to get after getting rid of my gambling addiction." And so yeah, he's like, "I'm about $100 million in debt, and if I don't pay that off, I'm gonna be offed. So yeah, mom, I'm sorry." And so she's like, "Look, I'm terrible. My own son. I can't tell my own son to listen to me. How can I do anything?" So I feel for the mom at this point. The mom is so sweet. Like every time I see the mom, she just makes me so happy. I can't explain it. She just is so bright and so just like sweet. And every time she's upset, I get upset. I don't know. I'm just following the emotions of this mom right now. Like I don't know what she got the essence or aura, but this mom is like controlling my emotions watching this show right now. But yes, he did his mom dirty, and now she got to stay another round. 390 now apologizes to number one and 4456 that he voted to stay. He's like, "Look, that's not enough money for me either. I need more." And the thing is, 456 said, "I would give you the money that you need to take care of your stuff. I have 4.56 billion won." So I don't know if 390 forgot about that detail, but he's tripping. 456 also says if they stay, they might have to kill each other. So what's the point? We're not all gonna get out of here alive. And so 390 was tripping going against his friend when his friend got the money. And they apparently give them milk instead of water, boxed milk instead of boxed water. Interesting. I'd rather take boxed water, but hey, boxed milk could add a little flavor, I guess, to some things. And soon 120 explains that they lost their job when they decided to tell people that they wanted to live as a woman. He was in the military and it was all bad. But if he gets the money, he's gonna move to Thailand. They're gonna move to Thailand and buy a house, start a new life. And the mom doesn't know, like she's still figuring out 120 as in general. Um, she said she couldn't even call her beautiful though, but said she would look fine once the transition's over, which obviously is showing a generation kind of like comprehension of what's going on and like the acceptability. I say more so the acceptability of the transition process, which is actually interesting to see, because the older generation obviously has different thoughts on the things that the younger generation is doing, and it's interesting to see their perspective on things. So that was cool of them to put in there. So now 230 and his friends are in the bathroom and they're trying to intimidate their teammate 333 because he voted to stay, not to stay. And they're like, "What are you doing? We're gonna you going against the team." And I'm like, "Bro, can y'all give it a rest?" It was 116 to 139. One or few, two or three or four or five or 10 votes wouldn't have made a difference. It took him 25 votes, 23, 24, 25 votes. So chill. They said he needs to. They said he's like, "You need 230 says to 333. He's like, "You need to be my slave before when you get out of here. You owe me all that money back. And even if you win the money, you need to pay me all that back." And he's like, "Bruh, if I win the game, you're dead." He's like, "Oh, good point." So 230 is not the brightest, as we obviously know. Yeah, he been popping too many of them pills. I'm surprised he hasn't ran out yet. Um, but yeah, they try to get him in the bathroom, but these dudes are just comedic relief. I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind 230, but leave 333 alone, coach, because it ain't gonna happen. Um, So yes, soon 456 creates a barrier to protect themselves because people might start acting different at nighttime. Remember in season one, people started killing each other at night because then that would make the money go up. This group seems a little different. The reason why the season one had that bully and he was the one insinuating all the killing at night. There's not a really a bully like that in this season. And number one has been proven to show that he can handle whoever comes towards him. So I think they don't have that issue as much this season, but it's interesting to see him put up these walls. And I don't blame him too. You know, he's still traumatized, even if it was 2, 3 years ago. And apparently, the mom is carrying a beneo, which I think is pronounced like that, a knife in her like hairpin. She pulls it out, and it's a knife. She's like, "I will cut whoever comes near me." And I was like, "Oh God, this grandma got everything, Coach." Uh, and so she's all good. She has to get up and go to the bathroom late at night, and so does the pregnant girl. And it's funny that, so when they get to the door to talk to the guard to go to the bathroom, he's like, "I'm not letting y'all through. You can't go through." And she's like, "Please, how would you feel if I was your grandmother? How would you feel if you would talk to your own grandmother like this? Think of us point of view. Us ladies have different needs than men." I was like, yeah, I had to watch this scene a couple times. It was hilarious. She is brilliant. I love this mother. I love her. Um, And so soon, the guard opens up the door. He probably is like, "Look, I'm tired. Just go." But then 120 goes with them as well. Use the bathroom. And uh, the pregnant girl also admits that she does not have any parents. And our grandmother's being a mother figure to her, which is great. Like it's nice to see and have that. And soon they're in the bathroom and they're doing their thing. And 456 soon says to 390 that he came back. The reason he came back was to end the game, but he doesn't know how much more he can do. He's seeing what's going down. It's hard to kind of convince the players at this point. If he can't convince these few players to leave the game as is, what's stopping him from shutting this whole thing down? You know, his plans are completely falling apart. He doesn't have the chip in his mouth. Like, what can he do? And he realized he may have made a mistake coming back in the game, which I understand. It seems hopeless at this point, convincing people to deal with their lives and not this debt in this game. And so 456 and 390 soon have a funny banter about the past and why they ended up here. And it seems like they're reliving like their old life a little bit, just the way they speak to each other, and they're having a good old time. I like that little segment. And soon the pregnant girl's in the bathroom. She's having a mini panic attack in the bathroom. The mother consoles her and she's like, "It's gonna be all right. Like she's about to bust any moment now." And I didn't realize she was that pregnant. You can't really tell with the suits, but dang, she's like 8 months, 9 months pregnant. This is very, very serious. Oh, we might have a baby squid on the way. Um, but soon the boat crew is back in action on the search. We get a little pan of them. They get a little few moments of screen time, but that's about it. Saying, "Okay, we're gonna try and find this place." And it's soon time for the third game, the morning of, and 2:30 got some pills to pop still. And they're going through the hallway, 2:30 dancing and whatnot. And we get to the third game, and it is called Mingle. So players must start in the middle. The platform will begin to rotate, and they will hear a number, whether it be two, three, four, five, six, whatever. And they must form groups of that size, then go into the rooms and close the door within 30 seconds. On a merry-go-round, basically. That's going there, and it's starting to sing this sick kid song, and they go along with it. So this game, it seems rather simple. You know, it's kind of like musical chairs to an extent. But to find the people in 30 seconds can go by quick when you're panicking. Um, and all it takes is one person to mess everything up. So we'll see if this game is done, quote unquote, fairly. We'll see if everyone would be able to pass, because at this point, both games, everyone been able to pass at this point. And we'll see if they screw with the numbers, whether they say like 9 or 11 or this or that, and if it works. So that was episode 5. I am looking forward to episode 6, and then sadly our episode 7 finale. But yeah, I'm loving this game so far, and I'm just so sad it's ending soon. But we will continue, and definitely I hope the mother survives. That's the one person I want to survive. I haven't read any spoilers yet, so I don't know truly, but we will find out. Thank you for joining me, y'all. Until next time, peace, blessings, deuces, and have a great, great rest of your day.